Do I have that working? I know I got that working. Yep, I think I did. There we go. Hello. I know you're there. I'm Ed Montgomery. They call me Dr. Ed. Thank you so much for being with us today. You're on Master Key Class. This is about finding that one key. We talk about some history. We talk about secular history. We talk about all kinds of things. We connect it to the spiritual and how we are able to live. In other words, instead of looking for one door, a key to the door of joy, a key to the door of abundance, let's search for that one key that will enable us to be able to use that one key to get in all the doors whenever we want to. You know, like a housekeeper in a hotel. That's what we want to know how to do. So thank you so much for being with us today. If you're watching by rebroadcast, all you got to do is just work just like you're watching it live, because when you comment, when you share, like those buttons, all those things work. Look, I know I got my shades on. Yep, I know it. But then again, isn't that what we do all the time? Now let me get into this. Every day of our lives, people are living with their shades on. Some know they got them on. Some don't realize how many pairs they have on. But the shades are filters that filter our lives and filter how we see things. And not just how we see things, but also how things see us. It's just a way of understanding that if we can get rid of the filters, then we can see life in a total different shade or a total different color. And that's what I do. I've been doing this for over 45 years, helping people to take off their shades, to take off the filters. And when they take off the shades and they say, I've taken off my shades, I said, no, you got another pair to go. They take off that pair and I said, you got two more pair to go. And they don't realize how life can color how we see things. Life can color how we see people of other races, how we see people of other colors, how we see people with money, people without money, how we see people who are seen as celebrities. There are people who get jealous of people who are seen as celebrities. Oh, if I could only be one of those, my life would be so wonderful. That's a celebrity. Some celebrities are saying, well, it's nice to have some money, but I wish my life was better. So our world is colored based on the lenses through which we see. So my job is to help you see through as clear of a lens as you can. We're not going to get rid of all the filters, but we're going to try to help you get rid of as many of them as we can so that you can see clearly. And one of the filters that we deal with is religion. That's where I come in. I'm not a doctor of medicine. I'm not a doctor of what was that? Oh, that's a bug or something. I'm not a doctor of philosophy or a doctor of something else. I'm what you would call a doctor of the soul, doctor of the spirit, to help you heal from the inside, to recognize who you are, to see yourself in a whole different image, and to be able to use your spirituality to get ahead, to use it as a battery inside of your little motorized car that can take you from one end to the other end. Now, here's one of the things that we've often talked about. We talked about this past week on Sensational Sunday. And Sensational Sundays, of course, comes on Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. I always type in Dr. Ed Montgomery. You can get it every Sunday. It's a different type of broadcast. But what we talked about was how powerful a word is. And if words can change us, if we understand who we are, that's what a pastor is. A pastor is not someone that just marries you and buries you. No. The scriptures teach us that God says, I will give you pastors after my own heart, which means that I know exactly what you need. And what you need is not just somebody to marry and bury you, but somebody that's going to break down knowledge and understanding. Because if you got knowledge and understand that knowledge, you can do just about anything you want in the world. And that's what a word is. A word helps to bring about knowledge, and ultimately, as you ponder that knowledge, it brings about understanding. And that's what the problem has been in religion. Back during the 1800s, as people or people of color were just beginning to get into Christianity or to understand who they were. And most people don't realize that Christianity was not just given to people once they got to America. It's not like, where the people came from Europe and they brought Christianity, and when they brought the enslaved people over, they gave them Christianity, which they didn't have because all they had was Islam. Well, not really. The people who came from Africa had Islam and they had Christianity. You have to understand Christianity was in the Middle East. And what did it do? It began to filter down through Egypt. Where is Egypt? Africa. So, it's, Egypt is right next to Israel. So all of that began to filter down into Africa. And I often tell people Jesus was not a Christian. Jesus was a Jew. Jesus understood Judaism. The disciples understood Judaism. They were not teaching Christianity. They were teaching what they considered to be another form of Judaism. Only after time did we get that word Christianity. And anyway, Christianity came from the enemies of the people who were living it. And the way they understood Christianity was look at how they love one another, how they care for each other. The definition of a Christian was not just Christ-like or little Christ. That was the word definition. But the definition was how people cared for one another. Now listen. It's the ability to look at someone and say, I trust you, not completely with my life, but at least enough to be able to know that you got my back concerning some things that are happening in my world. If you're in a family, you like to believe that your sisters and brothers, because your family, have your back, but you know as well as I know that just because you live in a house with somebody does not mean they always have your back. You know what I'm talking about. You've heard people say just because they skin folk, don't mean they kin folk. Just because you're of one color and you think that, hey, because you're my brother, you're going to always have my back. And you'll discover that some people who are not your color may have your back sometimes more so. And it's not all people of one particular color, but you have to go individual to find out who really has your back. You got to develop a relationship with people. You got to talk to people. And you begin to realize that this is what Christianity is. Christianity is who's got my back. I don't know what happened to us. We started getting to this whole thing about being a Christian is how much I know the word, or how many scriptures I can quote, or whose church I go to, or how many members are sitting up in the pews. And I think COVID has taught us a major lesson. That Christianity is not about what we have, what we possess. What it's about is who am I to you and who are you to me? What's our relationship? And I think this is what's been so devastating about Christians and these masks and this vaccine. Yes. Yes. I'm going to talk about it. I was going to say something about it. I'm not here to beat anybody up about a mask or a vaccine. But what I am bringing up is people who are saying, I'm your brother in the Lord. I'm your Christian and your Christian brother in your Lord. And they take off their mask. They're not vaccinated. And they got whatever, COVID, Navit, whatever they got. And they're saying, I'm your Christian brother or sister-in-law. And every time you try to turn your head, they want to come back over there and get up in your face and say it. And I'm asking myself the question, are you trying to hurt me? Are you trying to make me sick? What are you trying to do? The Lord gave me wisdom. Well, the Lord will take care of your brother. Yeah, the Lord will take care of me if you stop, if you just say it and don't spray it. Then the Lord will take care of me. And then maybe the Lord takes care of me that even as the scripture says, just because if my brother don't eat meat, maybe I will not eat it in order that I might win my brother. Maybe put a mask on. You may not believe in it, but put it on anyway so you don't hurt your brother. Because we're different people. Christians, we're different. You know, I'm watching as people are taking all of these crazy chemicals. What is it? Inverse something. Enter something. They've got some chemical out. I tell you what it is. It's used to deworm horses. Yep. They use it for sheep. And I come to find out, where are they spreading these rumors? You know where they're spreading them? In two different places. They're teaching these little classes in schools. After schools, they're having these little classes, and they're teaching them in churches. And they are making bukus of money on the side, just making fools out of people and money in their pockets.
Ivermectin.
What is it?
Ivermectin.
Ivermectin?
Ivermectin.
Ivermectin?
Ivermectin.
Ivermectin, yeah. This is what's happening. And when you find out that you can't eat, you can't even really get it because the people who are saying get it from me don't want you to know who they are. Now, you don't know what's in that. But people are funny about the vaccine. You know about that? You know what you could do with that vaccine? You could lay hands on yourself. And then they put the vaccine, and you can lay hands on top of that on that top where they put that vaccine is, and declare. And if I take anything deadly thing, it shall not harm me. And you can quote scripture all day long, and continue to live. How many of you got that much faith? So if you're going to just say it's a matter of faith, but you're going to take something that can kill a horse. If you're my Christian brother and you're my Christian sister, I think you should be looking out for me as well as me looking out for you. I think we're trying to get this whole United States to a place to where we can squash this virus. It's not about a Democrat or a Republican. This is about love. And if you're Christian, or whatever you use that term to be. And people are looking at you from the outside. And they use that phrase. Here's how they define Christians. See the love. See how much love they have one for another. And you get a picture of you willing to let your brother or sister die just for your own. You can't research nothing because you don't have the education to research it. But your own thought process. You know, I was listening to someone that was explaining how that vaccine actually worked. And they told me a story. They said what it does is, as you take it in, when COVID shows up and knocks at the door, the vaccine answers the door and says, who is it? And they say, I'm COVID. And they said, well, what do you want? Well, I was just next door. And I was with somebody that didn't have the vaccine. And what I did was I went in there and I just told them who I was. And the body went crazy. Because when the body is unvaccinated, the immune system tries to become more powerful. So it uses the strength, overuses the strength of the heart, overuses the strength of the lungs, overuses the strength of the kidneys, overuses the strength of the brain to try to fight off COVID. And COVID lets the immune system fight so hard until the immune system just says, I can't fight no more. And that's when COVID comes in and takes it. What the vaccine does, it waits. And when COVID knocks on the door and vaccine says, yes, COVID says, I'm coming in. And the vaccine turns around and the immune system wants to go crazy, but the vaccine says, don't go crazy. Let me take care of this. Stay calm. Keep the heart calm. Keep the lungs calm. Don't let it over empower the immune system. And as COVID comes in, the vaccine lets COVID know. You can do a little bit, but you are not going to trick this body. And then guess what? The vaccine does. Goes out of the body, but it leaves in the immune system the memory. So that if COVID ever comes back, the immune system remembers, don't go crazy. Keep your cool. And being cool, you're going to be able to deal with this virus. Keep your cool. Think about what you're doing. And remember that most of this is about how do we care about our brothers and sisters on this planet. Our Christian brothers and sisters. Those who are non-Christian. Those who are Muslim, Hindu, whatever they are, agnostic, atheist, I don't care what they are. It's our country and it's our planet. Show love. And you'll change the world. All right. Look, thank you for being with Master Key. Did you like this? Hit that like button. Tell some of your friends. Share it with some of your friends. Share it with them. Pass this on. Maybe it might be an explanation they can use. Maybe you're tired of trying to explain it to your friends. Share this with them. Send it to them. Hopefully, it might help them out. All right? Comment. I want to hear from you. Where you living? All those kind of good things. Talk to you. Bye-bye. Hello, I'm Ed Montgomery, and I want to encourage you about one thing. Don't you let your season pass you by. I've been talking on these little bitty clips about flowers and opening and blooming, but it takes pollination. In other words, it takes somebody going from one flower to another flower, and that's somebody, little bees and things of that sort. But Just like bees will go from one flower to another flower and cause pollination and cause those flowers to reproduce, I think we touch each other's lives the same way. When we smile at each other, we reproduce joy and happiness. Our world needs so much. This is what ALC does. And when you give, you make a huge difference in our world. Take the time, go to myalc.org. That's myalc.org. Hit the donate button. You can give that way. A second way to give is to be able to use your text to give on your phone. And you can send it to the number 713-742-2035. That's 713-742-2035. And put however much the amount you want to give right in that text message part of it and send it safe and secure. Not only that, but you can use your app. Don't forget, if you're in the app right now, you can give through it right now. And then also, you can use your P.O. box. Just slip a check. People still do checks nowadays. Or you can give through your debit cards or credit cards if you got an envelope. But if you're just mailing it, put a stamp on that envelope and you can send it to Abundant Life Center, P.O. Box 772-300, Houston, Texas 77215. Thank you so much for everything you do, for your contributions. I really appreciate you. Thank you, ALC, Abundant Life Center. And for all of you, ALC globally, thank you for being a part of our lives. I hope we can continue to be a part of your life. Love you. See ya.